For being aware in the instant from this and other information, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. The death toll from a newly discovered coronavirus in China has risen to 41 on the day of the Lunar New Year. Another 15 deaths in the Hubei province, where the outbreak began, were announced on Saturday. Health officials are struggling to contain the outbreak as millions of people travel for the New Year festival, one of the most important dates in its calendar. There are now more than 1,200 confirmed cases in China. The virus has also now spread to Europe, with 3 cases confirmed in France. The UK is investigating a number of suspected cases, while officials there are trying to trace around 2,000 people who have recently flown to the UK from Hubei province. Australia has also confirmed its first case, joining a handful of countries treating patients. In China, many events to celebrate the Lunar New Year have been cancelled. What does the virus do? The coronavirus, previously unknown to science, causes severe acute respiratory infection with symptoms including a fever and cough. There is no specific cure or vaccine. Based on an earlier report of the fatalities, when just 17 were dead, most of the victims appeared to be older people, many with pre-existing medical conditions. But one of the dead in the most recent update was a doctor at a hospital in Hubei, China Global Television Network reported. Symptoms seem to start with a fever, followed by a dry cough and then, after a week, lead to shortness of breath and some patients needing hospital treatment. About a quarter of cases are thought to be severe. What restrictions are in place in Hubei? Travel restrictions vary from city to city. Wuhan, where the outbreak began, is effectively on lockdown. All bus, metro and ferry services have been suspended, and all outbound planes and trains cancelled. A new hospital is being built in the city, for patients. Chinese media outlets said the new 1,000-bed hospital could be ready within 6 days. Pharmacies in the city have begun to run out of supplies and hospitals have been filled with nervous members of the public. Residents have been advised not to leave, and roadblocks have been reported. Uzhou, a smaller city in Hubei, shut its railway station. The city of Anxi has suspended all bus services. And the rest of China. City officials in the capital, Beijing, and Shanghai have asked residents who return from affected areas to stay at home for 14 days to prevent the spread of the virus, local media report. Authorities have also shut major tourist sites including the Forbidden City in Beijing and a section of the Great Wall, and cancelled major public events in other parts of the country, including traditional temple fairs in Beijing. An international carnival in Hong Kong. Hong Kong's annual football tournament, all public Lunar New Year celebrations in Macau. Shanghai's Disney Resort is temporarily closing, as are McDonald's restaurants in 5 cities. On Thursday, a coronavirus patient died in northern Hubei province, making it the first death outside Hubei. Another death was later confirmed in northeast Heilongjiang province, more than 2,000 kilometers, 1,200 miles from Wuhan. Earlier, when the death toll was 17, information from China's National Health Commission said the youngest person who died from the virus was 48 and the oldest was 89. But 15 of the 17 were over 60, and more than half suffered from other chronic diseases including Parkinson's and diabetes. Just 4 were women. What's the global situation? French Health Minister Agnès Buzyn said one of the French cases, a 48-year-old man of Chinese origin who had been visiting Wuhan, had been hospitalized in Bordeaux. Little was known about the second case, in hospital in Paris, except that the patient had been traveling in China. It was likely other cases would occur in Europe, Ms. Buzyn added. She confirmed a third case, in Paris, later on Friday evening. On Saturday, Australia reported its first case, a patient who is in hospital in Melbourne, after arriving from China last weekend. Earlier on Friday a case was confirmed in Chicago, the second in the U.S. Singapore confirmed its third case, known to be the son of another patient, also on Friday. Nepal recorded its first case on the same day. Thailand has 5 cases confirmed, Japan 3, Vietnam and South Korea 2 each, and 1 in Taiwan. Other nations are investigating suspected cases, including the UK, US, and Canada. The World Health Organization has not classed the virus as an international emergency, partly because of the low number of overseas cases. It may yet become one, said the WHO's Director General, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus.